The situation unfolding around Nnamdi Kanu inside the courtroom has turned into one of the most dramatic national conversations of the moment. And as we dive into what happened, make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next update, because the story keeps developing in unexpected ways. On the day of the hearing, the courtroom was already tense even before the judge arrived. Security was tight, journalists were lining up, lawyers were whispering to each other, and everyone had this sense that something unusual might happen. People kept glancing around, waiting, wondering, listening. Even those who came as supporters were quiet for most of that morning, watching every movie. And please, as you stay with this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay updated. By the time Kanu was brought in, you could feel the attention in the room shift sharply. Many people inside the courtroom have seen him multiple times, but on this particular day, the energy around him felt very different, as if both supporters and critics knew the stage was set for something serious. His legal team formed a tight circle around him, discussing, clarifying, preparing. He looked calm, but focused. He kept adjusting his glasses slightly, looking from one side of the room to the other, almost as if trying to sense the mood of everyone present. And if you're following this gist closely, please tap the like button right now and subscribe, because we always bring you the details clearly and simply. When the judge entered and proceedings began, things were smooth at first. The registrar read the case details. The lawyers stood up, each responding with their formal greetings, and everyone expected the hearing to follow the usual pattern. But within minutes, the entire atmosphere changed when the discussion shifted to the issue of opening the defense. Kanu was asked once again if he was ready to open his defense, and that moment became the turning point. Instead of proceeding as expected, Kanu expressed strong disagreement with the process. He questioned documents, raised objections, and made statements that immediately caused murmuring in the courtroom. People leaned forward, some whispering to one another, trying to catch every word. The judge attempted to maintain order, but you could tell that the hearing had taken a very unusual direction. This was when talk of a secret deal started rising inside and outside the courtroom. Some individuals present said they heard him hint at certain hidden arrangements or undisclosed issues affecting the case. Others insisted that social media later exaggerated the words, but what everyone agreed on was the confusion. The courtroom became a place filled with tension, uncertainty, and emotional reactions. And as we break it down for you, remember to like this video and subscribe. It encourages us to keep bringing you clear, calm, and balanced news updates. At one point, the judge had to pause the session briefly because the atmosphere grew too charged. Even the lawyers on both sides were visibly unsettled. They shuffled papers, adjusted microphones, and exchanged looks that suggested they were unsure of what direction the hearing might take next. For a moment, it felt like the courtroom was suspended in time. Everyone waiting, holding their breath, listening for what would happen next. Then the session resumed, and the judge, maintaining a firm but professional tone, reminded everyone of the importance of procedure. The judge stressed the need for clarity, discipline, and respect for the court. But even with those reminders, the tension didn't go away. Kanu repeated his objections, continued his refusal to open his defense, and the situation grew more complicated. Remember to like this video and subscribe as we continue this gist, because these details matter. One of the reasons this case is generating so much national attention is because every action in the courtroom has possible political, social, and emotional consequences across different parts of the country. Supporters outside the court reacted strongly to the news filtering out from the courtroom. Some believed he was exposing something hidden. Others believed he was simply standing firm on his long-held position about the case. Meanwhile, analysts and commentators were watching carefully, trying to interpret the legal implications of a defendant refusing repeatedly to open a defense. Inside the courtroom, the legal team representing Kanu was visibly under pressure. They had to balance their strategy with the court's schedule, the judge's warnings, and the high expectations of supporters. You could see them exchanging documents, whispering instructions, and adjusting their approach on the spot. And as we continue, please like this video and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and keeps you connected to our updates. As the judge reminded again that the court could proceed to judgment if the defense remained closed, you could sense a ripple of shock move through the audience. Some people shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some supporters quietly gasped. Others stared directly at the judge, almost as if hoping the words might change. That moment was one of the most powerful parts of the entire hearing. It was the kind of moment that makes even someone watching from afar feel the weight of the situation. Courtrooms usually follow predictable patterns, but on that day, nothing felt predictable. Every minute seemed to carry the possibility of a major turn. And all through this gist, I'll keep reminding you to like the video and subscribe, because this is the type of story that requires ongoing updates. Then came the part that everyone is still talking about. The expressions, the reactions, the body language, the statements that created this viral wave of discussion. Some observers believed they saw frustration. Others believed they saw confidence. But what mattered most is that the tension did not reduce, it grew. When the judge announced a final decision date, the room shifted again. Some people nodded slowly, understanding the seriousness of what was happening. Others looked confused or worried. Kanu himself remained controlled but firm, maintaining the same position he had taken earlier in the session. Outside the courtroom, the reactions kept spreading. Supporters raised flags, chanted, and expressed their views. Critics expressed their own opinions, and online conversations exploded. Videos, clips, posts, commentary, interpretations, arguments. Everyone had something to say, and the phrase secret deal became a major anchor point in the discussion, even though the term itself was never confirmed officially inside the courtroom. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe as we continue. Now, stepping back from the heated reactions and focusing on the courtroom alone, the picture becomes clearer. A defendant objecting to the process, a judge insisting on procedure, lawyers navigating the pressure, and a courtroom environment strained by high expectations. That is the core reality. Every major national trial carries big emotions, big reactions, and big consequences. And this one is no different. The reason this gist is long is because the events are layered with legal, political, emotional, and social angles. And the reason many Nigerians are glued to it is because it touches on issues that go beyond just one individual. It touches on justice, fairness, trust in institutions, national unity, and the future direction of the country. And once again, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of this gist. Now, as the courtroom session progressed, lawyers tried to bring the discussion back to concrete points. They attempted to clarify legal issues, address objections, and encourage a more structured flow. But even with these efforts, every small shift in the dialogue carried weight because the audience was so attentive and the stakes so high. At various points, you could see journalists making notes quickly, adjusting their cameras, and nudging each other whenever the tension climbed. It was one of those hearings where you simply couldn't look away because anything could change the story. And while all this was happening, even the judge maintained a tone that showed both firmness and careful control. The judge tried to balance the right to fair hearing with the need to maintain courtroom discipline. This made the judge's words very important. Every sentence, every instruction, every reminder. And as we continue, please like this video and subscribe. The emotional weight in that courtroom could be felt even by people who were just watching from outside through updates. Families waiting outside paced back and forth. Supporters tried to interpret body language from afar. Lawyers stepped outside during short breaks to discuss strategy. Police officers kept a close watch on the surroundings. It was the kind of environment where even silence felt loud.